It had been nearly 3 weeks since I'd had a full day off after several long shifts with the sheriff's office. I finally planned to spend one quiet afternoon relaxing at my own home. I put my phone inside, stepped into my backyard, and slipped into the pool, grateful for the peace and quiet. As I floated quietly in the water, I heard my backyard gate swing open. A young man in a bright red t-shirt marched across the pool deck, with several friends following behind him. One of them immediately pulled out a phone, apparently expecting some kind of confrontation. I climbed one step closer to the pool's edge, but remained completely calm. Before we go any further, I said, "Would you mind telling me your name?" The young man smiled proudly, as if he had already won the argument. Ryan took another step toward the pool and spoke even louder. "You have exactly 30 seconds to leave before I call security and have you removed." His friends laughed, expecting me to panic. Instead, I simply smiled and remained exactly where I was. Ryan pulled out his phone and confidently dialed his mother. "Mom, I found someone using the neighborhood pool without permission," he announced loudly enough for everyone to hear. "You need to get over here." Less than 10 minutes later, a luxury black SUV pulled into my driveway. Karen Collins stepped out wearing a Navy business suit and walked confidently toward the backyard, without knocking on the front door. I calmly explained that the property belonged to me and offered to show identification once I had dried off. Karen immediately dismissed the suggestion and insisted there was no need to see any documents. To avoid unnecessary arguments, I slowly climbed out of the pool and wrapped a towel around my shoulders. I walked toward a patio chair where my wallet and house keys were resting. Karen glanced briefly at the license, but insisted it could not possibly prove ownership of the house. Ryan agreed immediately, convinced there had to be another explanation. Just as Karen was reviewing the documents, a marked Sheriff's Patrol SUV slowly entered the driveway. One of my deputies had stopped by to return a folder I had accidentally left in the vehicle after my previous shift. The deputy handed me the folder with a respectful smile. "Sorry to interrupt your day off, Sheriff. These were left in the patrol vehicle after yesterday's briefing." I thanked him and assured him it wasn't a problem. Karen immediately apologized for confusion and suggested everyone simply forget what had happened. She insisted Ryan had only been trying to protect the neighborhood. One neighbor stepped forward and admitted they had seen Ryan enter my backyard without knocking. Another neighbor confirmed that Karen had arrived before asking who actually owned the property. Rather than continue the argument, I invited everyone to sit on the backyard patio so we could have a calm conversation. One of Ryan's friends quietly admitted that recording strangers just to post videos online had been a bad idea. The others agreed and deleted the recordings before leaving the backyard. A few days later, the HOA scheduled its monthly community meeting. Karen invited me to attend and share my perspective on respectful communication between neighbors. The HOA board reviewed several outdated neighborhood procedures during the meeting. After the meeting ended, Ryan approached me privately. He admitted that growing up with constant praise had made him believe he was always right. Over the following weeks, Ryan surprised many neighbors by volunteering at several community events. Instead of giving orders, he spent his time helping organize neighborhood cleanup projects and greeting new residents. As summer came to an end, the neighborhood had changed in ways few people expected. What started as an uncomfortable misunderstanding became an opportunity for everyone to improve communication and rebuild trust. A month later, the HOA hosted its annual summer neighborhood picnic. Families gathered around the community park. Children played games, and neighbors shared food under colorful tents. The atmosphere felt completely different from the tension of just a few weeks earlier. During the event, one homeowner approached me with a question about neighborhood safety. Before I could answer, Ryan politely suggested they speak directly with me instead of making assumptions. A few weeks later, I received a handwritten thank you card from the HOA board. Inside was a message expressing appreciation for helping improve communication throughout the neighborhood. One Saturday morning, Ryan stopped by my house, but this time he rang the front doorbell instead of walking into the backyard. Over the next several months, the HOA introduced new guidelines encouraging homeowners to verify concerns before filing complaints. One afternoon, while relaxing beside my pool again, I noticed Ryan walking past the house. As the seasons changed, New families moved into the neighborhood. Looking back, I realized the incident at the pool could have ended very differently. Months later, neighbors still remember the story, but not because of the argument. That afternoon by the pool started as an ordinary day off and became a reminder that respect should never depend on titles, uniforms, or assumptions.